out, get your pads out, because I'm going to throw a lot of information at you, and it's going to be stuff that you're going to want to go use. It's cool stuff. I was on a flight going to Canada for a speaking engagement, and I was thinking about how to open, trying to write some jokes. And we're up in the air, and I got my pen out, and the plane's going bam, bam, bam. Terrible turbulence, right? I couldn't even write. The flight attendant comes on, and she says, "Everybody stay in your seats, fasten your seatbelts." She's gone. Well, then she comes back on a little bit later. Bam, bam, bam. The plane's just getting hammered. She comes on again. "Okay, bathrooms are locked. There'll be no drink service this flight. I'm not leaving my seat. You all stay in yours." Gone again, right? Building lots of confidence for all the passengers. Comes on again, third time. For those of you that are getting motion sickness, find something that catches your eye and just stare at it. And that'll help you with your motion sickness, and hopefully you won't get sick. There's barf bags in front of you. She's gone again. Well, right then, the plane hit an air pocket, drops 500 feet. Now I bungee jump, skydiving, I'm into that stuff. For me, I was like, oh, that was kind of a nice little rush. But the lady behind me lets out a blood-curdling scream. The older lady, both lungs. Ah! So I turned around immediately, and I said, "Look, no, don't worry, everything's going to be okay." And she looks at me and she goes, "Turn back around." And I'm like, "Okay, I was just trying to help." And she goes, No, I've been staring at the back of your head." I'm like, oh, great, I have a nauseous woman sitting behind me, and I turned around. Okay, you guys have already seen the book that Patrick helped me publish. I'll pass it around. What I'm going to talk about today is Master Your Internet Presence. Okay, how many people here are on Facebook? Everybody, right? Okay, there's 300 million people on Facebook. 300 million, growing every day. But the statistics that really matter are 100 million of them log in every day. And the average time spent on Facebook is 90 minutes. An hour and a half a day, 100 million people. Where could you get an audience like that? And it's free. There's a dozen websites in this book, Master Your Internet Presence. It's an ebook, and it walks you through the steps. And I'm just going to go through some of the basic strategy in social networking, because nobody's doing it right. And there are ways to monetize it. The tools available to us for free right now, 5 years ago, would have cost you $250,000 a year. Easy. If they were even available, 20 grand a month is what it would have cost you to put these tools in place. They're all free. I just read an article that said if you have an internet-based product and you don't have a way to make money by giving it away for free, you'll never make it. And as you see, all of these sites are giving away everything for free now because they have to. They're getting it through pay-per-clicks and everything else. I'll pass this around. And then this, what's that? Yeah. This is actually a workshop I did at Microsoft called Goal-Based Priority Management. And it helps people set their 5-year goals, work back to what they need to do every month, every week, and every day, so they can be where they need to be in 1 year to be where they want to be in 5 years. And there's a blueprint and there's a workbook that goes with it that I built in Excel. Okay, I think this information is just way too important to charge for, so I give this book away. I'm going to pass this around. If you want to put down your email address, I'll send you a copy of this book and a workbook that goes with it. The time of the year is perfect for this. Everybody's thinking about 2010. So if you can take a look at it. If you want a copy, put down your email address. Later, the Master Your Internet Presence sells for $29.95 on my website. If you want to buy it here, I'm going to do it for $20 because of Bettina's event. Just make a mark on there. Come see me afterwards. I'll email you the book from my iPhone right now. And you can pay. So here's what I want to cover. First of all, there's a site. Checkyourusername.com. Okay? When you're first getting going in social networking and media, you want to try to get a username across all the sites. It helps you, it makes it easier to find, and it's a lot easier when you're signed up on 12 or 15 sites to be able to have the same username. You go to checkyourusername.com, put a username in there, click check it. There's 120 logos on 120 different social networking sites. 120 of them. It will go to each site and it gives you an X or a check mark. If your username is available, you get a check mark. If it's not, you get an X. So first start with your name. If you can get your name, great. Chances are it's long gone. But go and put your name in and see how many sites you can get that on. Another great way to use this site is to go see how many social networks there are out there. I mean, even I was surprised when I went to checkyourusername.com, and it goes on for like 4 pages on the web. All these social networking sites, on and on and on and on. Another thing you want to do, You mentioned Gmail. Unbelievable. I have 2 chapters of it in my book. The thing about Gmail is, first of all, it's very, very sophisticated. You can go in, and most people don't know this, but when you're using a search engines are just massive databases, right? They take commands. When you go into a search engine like Google and you're going to do a search, there's commands you can use. For instance, if you do a search parameter, do a normal search, then do another search and put in -.com. .com are commercial sites. It removes all the commercial sites, all the people trying to sell you something. You get much, much better information. That one little command. Another command, parentheses. Let's say you put in scuba diving. Well, it's going to pull up all kinds of sites that have scuba and have diving. Put scuba diving in parentheses, it will only pull up websites that have scuba diving. It searches for a phrase instead of each individual word. If you want to learn more about this, just go to Google and type in search commands. Search commands for Google. You won't believe. It will make you you'll find 10 times the information that you need. Another great thing is Google Alerts. Anybody on those right now?
Yes.
Phenomenal tool. Free, of course, like everything else. You go set up a Google Alert, put in your keywords, and by the way, these commands work in Google Alerts too. So if you want a phrase search, put the parentheses around it. Google Alerts will go out once a day and do a global search of your keywords, put together all the new content that it can find in links, and send you one email with all the links on your topic. So once a day, you get an email. When I teach people to get set up on their blog, first thing they do is, it's so easy to set up. Point and click, you're set up. Then they're like, great, now I'm set up. What do I talk about? I say, well, what do you want to talk about? And whatever it is, you go set up a couple of Google Alerts. You have more content delivered to your email on a daily basis than you could ever blog about. I mean, it's constantly being sent to you. Another thing, and most of this stuff's covered in my book, another thing you want to do is go and set up Google Gadgets. And here's why.
Oh, yes.
When you go and set up Google Gadgets, you can set up individual pages, like a web page, but it's yours. And you can set up windows into other sites. So for instance, in my Google Gadgets, I have a tab that says social networking. I click on it, I have a little window into Twitter, a little window into Facebook, a little window into LinkedIn. And I have windows into all these sites. So I can go to one web page and look at what's going on in all my social networks without having to log into all of them. Massive time saver. It'll save you so much time you won't believe it.